So we get not what we need, but we get what we deserve. It says if you ask, someone has an answer. If you keep asking, the answers belong to you, because by virtue of asking, you have qualified. So we don't get what we need, we get what we deserve. The mother on welfare should be taught in some small manner that hopefully she can begin deserving the welfare check. Not getting it because she needs it, but now starting to get it because she deserves it. If the welfare worker says to Mary, Mary, I brought a bucket of paint and a paintbrush, and the next time I come, if the door is painted and the fence here in front is painted, I give you the check for $450. Not that painting the door and painting the fence is worth $450. It's not worth that much, but it is the beginning of the process. So make that note. I want to begin the process of deserving. What would that be? What process should I begin engaging in to deserve good health, to deserve a good relationship, to deserve prosperity, to deserve an enterprise, to deserve the opportunity to build a city? What must I do to begin the process of deserving? So now the welfare worker comes back and the door is painted and the fence is painted, and now Mary gets the $450 to help take care of her children, not because she needs it, but because she's beginning to deserve it. Then the welfare worker thinks of some other project. She said, Mary, if these weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, when I come back, now that the door is painted and the fence is painted, if the weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, you get the $450. And step by step, a new life is emerging, learning the process of deserving it, not just needing it. We teach our children at home, right? Child says, I need $10. So that language doesn't work here. There's plenty of money here, and the vaults are full. But to say I need $10 is not how you open the vault. So the child says what? Wow, how can I get that $10 that I need? So here's what they learn to say. How could I earn $10? Now the vault opens up. Now the money starts to flow. How could I earn $10? What could I do to earn the money? Not to get the money because you need it. But maybe you need the money. That's, all of us have needs. But here the key is to figure out how to open the vault, how to open the bank, how to open this unbelievable flow of resources to come our way. And here's the key: to deserve it, not to need it. You can't walk out to the field and say to the field, I need a crop. Here's what the field says. Here's what the ground says. Who is this clown that brings me his need but brings me no seed? So jot that down. Take your seed to the marketplace, not your need. Don't disclose your need to the marketplace, only your willingness. We'll talk about that a little later today. Because the marketplace is not interested in your need, but they are interested in your seed. They're interested in your willingness to work. They're interested in your disciplines. They're interested in your eagerness. They're interested in your vitality and your work ethic. That's what the marketplace is interested in. Not your need, but your seed. Okay. We get what we deserve. Old Testament God says, if you'll move toward me, I'll move toward you. See, that's how you get those occasions to meet God. You must make the move. God could say, you don't move, I don't move. You say, well, that's arbitrary. Well, when you're God, you can make it that way. So, Old Testament God says, if you'll move toward me, I'll move toward you. See, that's how you get those occasions to meet God. You must make the move. God could say, you don't move, I don't move. You say, well, that's arbitrary. Well, when you're God, you can make it that way. So, the law says if you wish to receive. Now let's talk about enlightened self-interest. If you wish to receive. And we would call the wish to receive self-interest. But if it's enlightened self-interest, here's what it says. I understand that in order to receive, I must give. Receiving is reserved for those who give. Receiving is not reserved for those who need it. It's reserved for those who deserve it. We deserve the receiving by giving. In fact, there's an extraordinary phrase in this little context, and here's what it says. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now, the uneducated person would find that difficult to ponder. Why would it be better to give than it is to receive? So let me give you one of the better phrases for the day. Here it is. Giving starts the receiving process. So, of course, it's better to give than it is to receive. How much receiving do you wish? You must start the giving process. For me to receive my additional fortunes for the future, not necessarily for the money, because I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But here's what I do need. For someone to say, a year from now, 5 years from now, Mr. Rohn, that seminar helped to change my life. And for whatever reason, I was brought here to this place for this time. And later someone says that. See, to receive that kind of thanks, it's unbelievable. Here's what you cannot buy. That kind of thanks. You can't buy it with money. You have to earn it. Now, let's expand a little further now. That it's called the law of riches and wealth. In our own self-interest, if we wish to be rich and wealthy and prosperous and healthy and all the valuable things we can think of for the human experience, how could we get there? It's understanding the law of enlightened self-interest and the law of deserving. The question was asked in the Bible, how can we be great? What is the key to greatness? Great wealth, great return, great accolades, trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace. How can we get great respect, great riches, great abundance for ourselves? How can we get that? And the answer was given, and here was the answer. Find a way to serve. Find a way to serve the many. So I paraphrase it to read this. Service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. Someone says, well, about the best I can do is take care of myself. That's okay. Self-care, has its own reward, but it's very limited. Somebody says, I can't be worried about other people's problems. I got enough problems of my own. That's okay. Self-defense is okay. Self-preservation is okay, but it has a very limited reward. If you wish to change that into abundance and prosperity and uniqueness, then here's what you must do. Help solve other people's problems. Help find answers for someone else, not just for yourself, but for someone else. And in that kind of service, you now begin the process of greatness. So make that note. The key is to deserve it. It's not just to get it, but to deserve it. So 39 years, going on 40, now brings me here. I've been out there serving a long time, sharing ideas. And then it's wonderful to come one more time, to have so many give me such a welcome. I appreciate it very much. But from the farm country of Idaho to traveling the world to coming to Dallas, my major purpose has been putting my experiences in language that might be useful. And that's a note to make, learning to put your experiences into language that might be useful to someone else. We first try to do that when we have children. Well, really the association starts earlier than that, when we're in school and we communicate with each other, trying to make our language useful, whether it's in sports or whether it's in business or whether it's at home or whether it's traveling, to make our language useful to someone else, to turn on a light, to share an experience, to find some way to say something that might be meaningful to someone else. And I've challenged myself with that now, especially the last 39 years, is to try to not be lazy in language. And that's a good note to make now, not to be lazy in language. And before the day is finished now, one of our major subjects is going to be communication, affecting other people with words. And it's so important to just stay keen, stay sharp, stay clear in your ability to communicate, because it has so much to do with your income. It has so much to do with your relationships. It has so much to do with your lifestyle, your associations with colleagues and friends and family and associates, no matter where you go, no matter what you do. Language is such an important tool. It is so useful in shaping our lives, shaping our future, creating a destiny, all of that, the promise of the future. A big share of that comes from making your language useful. So one of the important subjects for today is going to be communication. But anyway, enough preliminaries. I'm just delighted to be here. We're ready to go to work, and I just want this to be a special day. Here's another note to make. The early Christians were taught not to neglect the assembly. Because when Christianity first started, they were brand new, and I'm sure that was part of it. But the word was, when we call an assembly, a get-together with everybody, it's very important to be there every time you possibly can. A constant reminder that wherever there's good ideas being taught, whether it's the lyrics of a song from a presentation or the message from a minister on a Sunday morning, or whether it's a play on Broadway, or whether it's conversation with a group that's gathering, it's important to be at every occasion you possibly can, where good ideas are being shared and someone's influence is going to be valuable. And here's why. Make this note. Some of those occasions will be dramatic. If you attend every class, every training, every sermon, every get-together, every seminar, every convention, perhaps of the business you happen to be in, all of that, if you attend regularly, constantly, places where good ideas are going to be shared, the influence is going to be great, some of those occasions are going to be special. Make this note. Some may be so special you'll never be the same again. You'll look back on it, perhaps, make a note on your calendar. This was one of the days that changed my life. This was one of the days when some more lights went on and I've never been the same. This was the day that helped to develop my influence so that I could help other people. This was the day. And I said a little prayer before I left my hotel room today, and here was my prayer. I hope this is one of those special days. I don't know particularly where you are in your life, whether it's springtime, you've got something new going, summertime, you're toughing it out. For maybe some of you, it's wintertime, you've got some heavy experiences to handle. For some of you, I know it's harvest time, because I know some of you, and you're cashing in on, past years of sowing and doing your job, and now things are really going extremely well. But whatever time I have caught you, whatever season, I just hope this is one of those special days when the atmosphere is right and the association is right, because a big part of this weekend is going to be associating with the people you'll have a chance to meet here. Because here's what's important, and make this note. That's why I've invited some guests on this special weekend to come and be with me. It takes more than one voice to learn everything we need to know to shape our lives. No one person has all the answers. The Bible is a collection of 66 books. Not just one author, not just one, but a collection. And that's why seminars and study time is so valuable. It's a chance to hear from another voice, another collection of voices. So here's what I would ask you to do this weekend also, is to make your acquaintances, make those meaningful. If you have a chance to talk to somebody and find out who they are and where they're from and what they do, just in those, we sometimes call them casual conversations, but sometimes from casual conversation can come something incredibly meaningful. So I'm asking you, from all aspects of what we offer this weekend, not just my presentation, and Ziggs and the others, but your presentations to each other. If you'll gather all of that up this weekend, you will walk out of here so much richer than when you walked in. It'll be incredible. And then all of us might look back on this incredible weekend in June 2001 as one of those extraordinary, special times. And we were never the same again. Okay.